How you doing, and welcome back to the K Project. I'm Dennis. I've gone through things tonight to be able to show the owners who live in Chicago. They may not be here until after I'm done. They need to know some of the choices I'm making. They were nice enough to give me an awful lot of freedom. At the same time, I have a budget to work with, so I'm going to go through some things. Let you know and them what's going on. Drywall, there's about $1,000 worth of drywall on the job. Probably a couple $100 in miscellaneous putty, and I'm thinking some special trims maybe on that curve. And I'll be renting the tools. I do everything with the tools when I have a large job. That's going to be about $300 to rent them. They're about 70 minutes away to rent the taping tools. Insulation, I had like $1,300, plus I got to insulate the floors. So maybe $1,700 in insulation. I had one bid at $5,500, so I know that that's a good deal. Anyway, we're going to start going through stuff. First one's casing. I like these as my casing. I priced out the 3.5-inch base. I'm using that casing as base. I might have some of the bigger, and I actually may use some of the smaller. The bottom line is to use that material. I need about 1,000 feet or so. It's $2,054. If I go to the standard 2.5-inch colonial casing, that type of thing that you'd see probably most anywhere anymore today, standard builders kind of stuff, it's $810. So there is quite a difference between the two casings in the cost per foot. There's not as much stuff here that I could do. The trim's going to be a big deal. The trim's going to add a lot to the job. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is using some window stools. It's not something I normally do, but I think they might look nice. I'm not sure of the cost. On the windows outside, boy, I got a lot of choices outside too, but I'm thinking maybe a band at the top. I'd like to keep it authentic, but there's some things I think we can do. The wainscot that I want to use, this is $8 a foot. That's a real wood product. That's part of the Princeton moldings. I mean, this is real wood. This is clear. That's the plastic lumber that I used under the deck. That's $3.89 a foot, so it'll cost $272 for materials. This is a fiberboard. It's only $2 a foot. It's like $140 to do what I want to do. It's just going to be the island, and right now just one wall in the guest bath. You know, I still want to use that, but again, $560 when you can buy it as little as $140. Big difference in those materials. That's one of the reasons I'm sending all of this to Eddie and Vivi. Now we're going to go to the deck. The deck is 130 square feet. I am going to remove and replace it. There's about $600 in womanized lumber. There's about probably $100 in anchors and things of that nature. Then you come to the deck. This is standard womanized decking that you see everywhere and anywhere. It's the normal 5/4 thick. That'd be $200. It's 130 square feet of deck. That'd be $200. You could go to this material, and that's going to be $637. The way it ties in, it's got a cool fastening system. Then you could go with this. This is also a southern yellow pine, but it has the attachments on the edge. And this is one of those that has got a 20-year guarantee. This is guaranteed to rot. This has got a 20-year guarantee. And the plastic, I'm not really sure. These two are basically the same cost. They have that same connection. They're all hidden fasteners. Totally cool. But there's a big difference in cost, like I say. We can spend $858 or we could spend $200. It'd be hard for me to spend $200. It won't last very long. Now we're into shingles. There's two major brands out here, the Waska and the Maybach. The difference between the shingles, that's the end grain of the shingle. So water's going to come down and drip off that end grain. As it does, each one of those little grooves is a spot for water to drip. The top one's the Waska. As you can see how grainy it is and open. That means water can get in. The Maybach shingle down below, you can see how tight it is and smooth, and that shingle is way better than the other one. I've read up on them. It's a custom set of tools that they have, and they sharpen them after at least every shift. This is the drainage mat that we want to put on, that I want to put on. So I've showed you the difference in the shingles. If we buy one of these two shingles, you know, they're just standard. These are called betters. The bottom 6 inches are not free. Let's see, what else? Those, I'd use the Maybach. I wouldn't even look at the other ones. It's $2,527 for the shingles. We have 18 squares. $238 for the Tyvek paper, which would be like that. That's the Tyvek. That's actually called Typar, that material. Where am I at? $1,600 in the plastic trim that goes around the eaves, the rake, the outside corner boards. If you do that, it adds up to $4,300. You add in the drainage mat, it comes up, that's $1,286. So you're spending $5,640, and then if you add the color, it's a total of $7,741. The color in a way makes sense. It's got a 50-year warranty, 7 years on the labor for the stain if you do the 2 coats, an additional 20 years if you stain it 2 coats, 10 if you stain it 1. So we're talking about a long time. These shingles have been on for 60 years and they're just falling apart. So I'd go that direction. Plus, I'm kind of liking the idea of a color. I'm thinking one of the lighter colors. I like yellow, but I don't like any of theirs. Another option you'd have is you could go with the cement shingles. They come in, I think it's like 3.5, 5.5, and 7.5, and you got to mix the bundles. So you only have 3 sizes, so it's real uniform. With the cedar, you have a little more variance in the width, so I think you get a little nicer look. But $6,000 just for the shingles versus $2,527 or $4,600 for painted ones. So that's enough for now. That's about 8 minutes probably worth of talking. But you can see how there's a lot of decisions to make. You can see I've added $1,000 on trim, and $300 on wainscot, and $600 on the decking, the $1,300 worth of the dry mat. You don't have to do some of these things. But by the time I get done with that row, I'm adding probably, let's see, that row doesn't have much more left, but you know what I'm saying. The corner boards for clear, pre-manufactured, got a dovetail in them. Those are $72 a piece. If I buy 2 pieces of clear cedar, no dovetail, so I'm just going to nail them so I've got more spots that water could get in, that was $63 a corner. So it really makes sense. The plastic is slightly more, but it'll never rot, won't twist, won't warp. You can paint it. Stuff's great. So I'll get back to you shortly, kids, with another one.